Good evening. For all none of you that are watching tonight, because Charlie Brooker's currently doing something, and anyone in America hasn't got a clue who Charlie Brooker is, so you're probably doing something else like playing video
Working,
games
probably.
or working. Yes,
Depends on
working.
which side of the continental United States you're on.
Yes, some of you might just be getting up, and for our watchers that we have in places like Peru, hello.
Bizarrely. Hi.
Yeah.
We really should have
Um,
learnt what Peru for hello is. Are they Spanish? Hola.
Peruvian, I have no idea. I don't know.
hello.
I barely know where Watford is. Don't ask me.
See, no, what we just go on is the fact that every other country is generally a lot more intelligent than us
And
and
so they
can speak English
Speak English thanks to TV.
and their own language. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're in a good mood, gents, but we shouldn't be because we're about to lose any kind of good faith we had with Konami.
Oh, Konami have lost their shit officially. They've just shat their brains out all over the floor in a fit of pique. I don't know. Stuff's been removed before, but this is bizarre. This is just absolutely the most bizarre thing ever.
This is like they've caught Hideo Kojima in bed with Activision and have just completely lost the plot.
It's like
It's looking a lot like there's clothes being thrown onto driveways here, and
it's like
Screaming
Hideo
all the
Kojima.
memories.
It's like Hideo Kojima fucked Konami's mum and wiped his cock on curtains. That's exactly what it's like. And so Konami have gone after him with a shotgun. And they've buried him in
also,
the patio.
Just to clarify, with Steve's amazing commentary there, you don't get that sort of class for Charlie Brooker.
There you go.
Just saying.
It's usually worse. But it's no. So the removal of because we've not actually said what it's about. The removal of PT, the playable teaser, for the Silent Hills game from PlayStation Network, and the cancellation of Silent Hills, which is ridiculous. But probably a business decision, and not at all informed by whatever the fuck Hideo Kojima's actually done to piss off the head brass at Konami and remove all his branding and his name from every piece of software he's ever done ever. I think it's a dick move. I think it's a pure dick move for no other reason apart from the fact that Konami are being dicks.
I've got. Yes, Konami are being dicks, right? But when you look at it, you go, fine, you're cancelling Silent Hills, fine. If you want to do that, that's your business. You're removing PT from PSN as something that can be bought or downloaded by new people, fine. They've also done it now that you can't re-download it, even if you've got it.
Yep.
And so they've backed it up a bit further to just really rub it in. If you've got it, you can't play it after the 13th of December this year.
Yeah, removing the license. It's just, I mean, stuff's fallen off of various download networks before, but yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit weird. I mean, nobody will care in the end because anybody who's played it, everyone wants to play it, will have played it.
Yeah.
And it is only a playable teaser. I mean, it's one of the most phenomenal gaming experiences, to use a wanky term, that I've ever had. It's exceptional. Whether it's good or not, I don't know, but it is exceptional. But to remove it, it's just.
I called it when it first came out, and I first played it, and I got through it. I went onto one of the forums, and I turned around and said, "This is going to be in the running for one of the games of the year." And now it didn't. I don't think it made. Well, it didn't make Game of the Year, but there was a lot of people still talked about it in that discussion for what is Game of the Year, because it was a game that got everything perfect. The pacing was perfect. The atmosphere was perfect. You came away wanting more. You just wanted to know what was coming next. It was the best, as you say, teaser for a game ever. That made this new Silent Hills. You know how bad Silent Hill's been for the last few years. We know, and every time the new Silent Hill's been, it just you go, oh, actually, it's going to be a bit naff. This made you believe this was going to be something special, and it's going to go down, I think, in history. This would be the sort of thing in 20 years' time, 30 years' time. We're talking, we'll be down the pub one day, old man, going, do you remember that game? And it's almost like a few select people are going to have known or experienced what that was.
Now, it'll be more a case of we're going to be sat in the pub. Do you remember when we actually owned games and they didn't just rip the fucking carpet from underneath us and remove all digital licensing? I remember in my day we used to have physical copies of games. That could go down to the shop and that could buy a copy and you could hold it in your hand. It felt grand, that new game smell. Now it's just fucking bits and bytes.
Granddad's on one again.
Fucking Jesus.
Get him his medication. But they are putting a hell of a lot of stock in Pro Evo as a games company, unless they are about ready just to go, do you know what, scrap it, we're just going on gambling machines.
This is a complete coincidence, but I was looking the other day at top grossing mobile games, and Star Wars Force Collection that I mentioned before is published by Konami. And it feels like it's made by one man on his lunch hour in a janitorial closet who just happened to have some photos of characters of Star Wars kicking around. He made this massively nerdy thing and then just keeps adding bits onto it every now and again. For some reason at the moment it's got a Contra emulator where you play as Chewbacca. But for no gameplay reason at all, it's just, and it's a bit rubbish. But it literally feels like there's just one bloke making it, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. It can't have a massive team. And yeah, so I was looking up how much games were grossing because I was looking up Candy Crush Soda versus Sarg, you know.
Alright.
And it turns out that Star Wars Force Collection makes $46,000 every day.
Fucking hell.
It's a Skinner box. That's why it makes so much money. It's a fucking Skinner box. It does nothing. Oh, Jesus.
See, this is the whole thing with Konami. This is what's getting me at the moment. Essentially, Konami, the gaming division, is Hideo Kojima, whether they like it or not. Hideo Kojima, Metal Gear Solid. He was part of what was going to be Silent Hills. The only thing he didn't have his finger in was Pro Evo with regards to that company. So by removing him, they've essentially shut down their gaming division because Pro Evo's not turning over enough money. It never has compared to FIFA. It's been the best game compared to the other one most of the time, bar a few years blip, but it's never going to
blip that went on for about a decade. To be fair.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. I still liked it.
I suspect it's making a lot more money now because it's got its fake Ultimate Team thing, which is quite good.
Was that introduced?
This year. Years ago. Yeah, last year probably. It's better than Ultimate Team though.
Yeah, it's quite good. I've actually given him money once, and I got Diego Costa, who is a tip, but he's quite good at football, so you know.
I've not paid him anything, but anyway.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
It's football crap, and they pay to win basically in football games. I know that. EA started it. Actually, Simon Reed started it with New Star Soccer 5, but not going to go there.
No, wasn't Ultimate Team out before New Star Soccer?
No, not the mobile game. It was basically New Star Soccer 5 had done the whole follow your character thing, but you could buy in-game. There was no actual real money, but loads of little in-game buying things and stuff like that. And it was surprised me fair. I went, ooh, real money for that. But anyway.
Stick a CCG mechanic onto anything and you'll make a fucking shitload of money because people are chasing the rares.
Exactly. But this whole thing, and part of me being the naive gaming child that I still am, wants to believe this is just the biggest play by Hideo Kojima ever.
No.
And he's behind all of this, and this is all leading up to something. Now, I don't think it is, but there's still that little grain that just maybe we're all going to come back in a few months and just go, fucking weird.
So what you're saying is that Hideo Kojima's, one of his hands is going to shrink a little bit, and he's going to burst out to be Jeremy Beadle. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. This is all a big social experiment for some new game, and we're still getting Silent Hills, and I don't know. It's you can never tell. I mean, 99.9% sure this is Konami just completely fucking up. But that little bit of me just wants to believe we are all being played by Hideo Kojima and Konami in some kind of marketing ploy.
I hope that is the case, but it's not going to be because it's far too. It just all seems far too spiteful.
But that's the thing. It's too spiteful. That's what does it to me.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I suspect that if they give him money and say sorry lots, then it might turn into an experiment and it all appear okay. No, it was a joke all along. But I don't think it is a joke.
No. It's like people. I've seen a few people go do the, Darth Vader, no, in the sky kind of thing, going, Konami's like, well, don't buy Phantom Pain then. Oh no, I'm still going to buy Phantom Pain.
I'm the problem.
Yes, you are.
I will pick that up.
Problems.
I don't give a fuck about Phantom Pain. I don't care.
I don't care about anything Konami have done. I think Sunset.
Actually, I'm saying
Sunset Riders was that what it was called?
Sunset Riders, and the amazingly poorly cut out guns on the front of the Mega Drive box.
Yeah, that was good.
What
about Konami Crazy
They're holding
Carts?
the guns like that, eh? What?
Konami Crazy Carts. That was a game.
Was that the GBA before Mario Kart came out?
Mario Kart Super Circuit came out, yeah. I don't know, they did Contra, Castlevania, they've done lots of good Castlevanias.
Yeah, I've never got around to playing a Castlevania properly.
Do you know what? I don't know why we fucking bother with you. I swear to fucking God.
Yeah.
I bet you hadn't even
I've
played
not
PT,
really
have you?
played a Metal Gear Solid properly either. I did play the first one quite a bit because I had it on PC, but then lightning struck my house and my hard drive wiped. So I stopped.
That's up there with the
affects
dog
quite
ate my homework.
That's because the only electrical item in Andrew's medieval house was this PC.
His PC got electricity. You can just imagine his parents sat downstairs in rocking chairs staring at each other going, alright, I better go and put skillet on, we got to fill bath up.
Wondering what these bills they're getting are for.
His PC was in a shed out back. There wasn't actually any electricity to the house. It was just out to his secret shed where he says he's going to give himself the cat of nine tails as penance for some reason. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't
really play that, and I've never got around to playing the Silent Hills properly. Any of the Silent Hills, I mean. I never got around to downloading PT. So...
No wonder you drastically wanted to change the theme of this show this week.
If Hideo Kojima goes, I'll be like,
well, what do you mean? He's gone by looks in it. But
he's still not gone. That's the really strange thing about it. They've not made any announcements that he's left or anything. They're just going through backspacing his name wherever they find it. There's literally just going down websites, just Control F, backspace, 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 replaced with he's a knob. It's I don't care, but other people apparently quite like that.
Because
heard.
This is where I said I'm going to get Metal Gear Solid 5. This is stupid. I've never played Metal Gear Solid 4 because I didn't like Metal Gear Solid.
So why are you buying 5? Why would you buy 5?
I'm not, but I think I'm just that engrossed by this whole thing. And the reason is, every Metal Gear, bar the first one that I've played it and just gone, it's not that good really. Even 4, I didn't like 4. But what Hideo Kojima does, he sells you something that you don't want and makes you think you do want it until you actually get it. And it's like buying kitchen appliances. Metal Gear Solid games end up in the back of the bottom cupboard somewhere.
I need
and
this
the next
JML Super Mix Master.
Yeah. He's a Breville machine, is what he is. All these games.
He's a Breville pie maker.
Yeah,
I see why people like them. It's just then none of them are for me. The only game I've actually got on with that got Metal Gear attached to it was Metal Gear Rising, and that's because it was batshit fucking mental.
And that was Platinum, weren't it?
It was Kojima Productions. Basically, from what I understand and from what I've read, Kojima went to his team, went, right, I'm not going to direct you on this. I want to see how far you can get. And then about 3/4 of the way through the project, he came back and went, what the fuck have you been doing for the last year and a half? And then tapped up Platinum and said, look, we need you to rescue this. They went, aye, all right then. And they did.
And made the best Metal Gear game ever.
Best Metal Gear game in about 6 months.
That's what this is all about. I think the Konami guys have finally played Metal Gear.
Played
Right.
Metal Gear 1 to 4.
Yeah,
Ground
Metal Gear
Zeroes.
buys it. They just went, fuck, this is what we want.
So why are you making this thing where he runs up the arm of a giant robot and slices it in half? What the fuck are you playing at, Kojima? Get out.
Something's going to happen. It's either all going to come out in the wash, or we're going to get the greatest game ever made that's not Metal Gear or Castlevania or PT or Silent Hills, and it's going to be a Hideo Kojima production. Because one thing he'll never get that much control over a fully fledged AAA title again.
I'm going to say, if he goes anywhere else, the thing is, people pick him up on his name, but he's got away with murder for years, to be perfectly honest.
Kojima, if Konami are done, no offense, Kojima's done. He won't have the budget to make that sort of game anymore.
No,
or the
Microsoft
freedom.
will
He can
hire
go.
him.
That's
But
true,
they won't
actually.
give him that freedom.
That's a good point. You know, Microsoft generally tend to hire anybody that's got a pedigree. You know, the whole auteur thing. Auteur? I don't fucking know. I don't care.
But
It just looks good to hire him, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But that's what he's going to be.
It doesn't even matter if he
Cool.
don't make a game. It's just, it looks good to hire him. It's something
Yeah.
to put on the stage at E3. Oh, look, we got this man. Hello, look at this man.
E3's
He's like Peter Molyneux, but you've not started hating him yet. Look at his face.
It's Peter Molyneux, but he's got higher production values.
That's all it is. Konami have just realised who he actually is. He was there putting his makeup on one day. They just went, "Oh my god, it's Peter Molyneux."
Molyneux, quick, get rid of him. Don't touch him with a barge pole. Crap.
Oh dear.
We've already given him millions and millions and millions of dollars. What are we going to do?
That'd be the greatest play if it turned out he just whipped the mask off and underneath
Like
was Peter
some
Molyneux.
fucking Scooby-Doo villain.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Anyway,
It's not. That's probably a lot more believable than anything else that can happen in a Metal Gear Solid game
I don't
as
know.
well.
I don't know. I might have to rescind my my original thing of E3 of not staying up and thinking sleep is the worst thing and just sit with popcorn and watch basically the games industry melt down, because this year's E3 is heading towards to be amazing for various reasons. So
Do you think
Yes.
we can start this as a rumour that he's going to appear there? I mean, let's be honest. We've not got many people watching us at the moment, so let's think this through. I think we can make this go kind of viral, and then everyone will not sulk and livid when he doesn't turn up, even though it's just us that's made it up. Really. I think we can do that.
Are we doing it the Peter Molyneux angle, or are we making it a bit more believable?
somebody needs to start a gaff account with a vaguely anagram-like username and start the rules.
Goat on a train or whatever his name was. What was he called? That insider? Was it Goat on a Train or something?
Probably have no idea. Again, I don't care.
That corner of the internet scares and confuses me.
Oh, do you know what would be a game I'd love to see? Would be Jeff Minter mixing with Hideo Kojima to create their own studio. That would be the most mental game ever made.
It'd be. I don't even know how that'd work. It was one of the most.
4 hours of camels talking.
But with some fantastic
Talking with
high on a kite visuals going on in the background.
Crouch to sneak.
Oh,
Crouch to sneak your camel with its massive hump.
Jeff Minter and Hideo Kojima.
Do you know what other game wouldn't surprise me if it had a crouch to sneak button? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5.
With Shooty Bang.
That's one that we're all looking forward to. I'm going to speak directly to the fans. It was me who put on the Gamestyle Facebook account that Tony Hawk's 5 could be good, but I'd just like to apologise to that now. It's not going to be.
It's not going to be
It's going to be toss, and I'm sorry. I'm going to take a little bit of the blame here.
A little bit.
It's going to be toss.
It's going to be. It's like oh god, I don't even know where to begin with this. It's like, I mean, part of me wants it to be good, part of me remembers that I wasn't any good at it when I was 21. Never mind now that I'm 35 and my reflexes are like molasses. So it's like, but it's kind of got, oh yeah, we're gonna go back to basics, and it's got Tony Hawk's, and it's all and it's got projectiles, and they're like, what? Eh? What the fuck are you talking about? In context, and it's like there's all these defensive. In context, it might be good. No, it fucking won't. It won't be good, because why would it be? Because at what point does chucking your son around a skate park trying to get 18 million scored as lobbing stuff at things come into play? I don't fucking get it. I don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't know when I made that post that it's made by the people that made all the wank Tony Hawk games.
Was it Robomodo?
Yeah, something like that. Who gives a fuck? The shit ones, those ones that I mentioned in the post of it's $4.99 for this massive skateboard and you can stand on it and you still didn't buy it.
No.
See, I could become a games developer right here. Right.
Okay.
Here's your 3-step guide to making a new Tony Hawk's game. 1. See those first 3 Tony Hawk's games. 2. Yes. 3. Profit.
See, Tony Hawk's. I didn't really get on with Tony Hawk's HD. It just felt a bit weird.
Yeah, that was them as well. They wanked that up as well.
Yeah, I can't understand. 1, how you managed to fuck that up because you take the best bits from the first 3 games. And 2, it just felt off. I played the Xbox Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2X after Tony Hawk's HD, and I'm playing it, and I'm like, this is just amazing. This is like the best. How did you manage to fuck up a remix of one of the best, sports action games ever?
And they just need a HD remake. Just had to re-release that.
I'm not entirely sure about that, but it's just, I don't know. I hate being negative about games that are coming out. I always like, despite my demeanour, I like to think the best and it's going to be good, but I just don't see how Tony Hawk's 5 could be any good.
Whoa. Continue being negative about the HD one.
I'm sorry, I want to argue with Steve. Do that, because then I want to pull Steve up on the point about how this cannot be good. But go on, you go first, Andrew.
The HD one had 7 tracks, courses, whatever, of which 2 of them were the ultra basic first levels that you finished in one go when you replay the games, even now. And it got rid of local multiplayer as well. What the fuck is Tony Hawk's without local multiplayer?
Exactly.
How do you make a HD version of a game that you've just ruined the main part of it?
I'm glad I didn't pay full price for it. I think I paid a few quid for it when it was in one of the sales.
But anyway, Steve, right? You're claiming there's no way this can be good, right? We haven't seen any of the gameplay yet. We don't know what this is like. But you cannot tell me you are not excited by those bloody visuals.
Those amazing visuals of the dead-eyed Tony Hawk staring into the abyss, waiting for Cthulhu to consume what's left of his soul.
I mean, have they left the 90s, the guys who are making this, by any chance?
Not. It looks like the polys are higher, but it looks like a Voodoo Effects 1 game. It looks
There's about 18 million polygons in his hand. It's just that they've not actually made it look like anybody's hand ever.
It's just
quite impressive. I'm going to go on the record. I'm going to say that's the worst hand in video games.
Whatever.
Ever. I'm including Jurassic Park Trespasser in this. That was a shit hand. I think Tony Hawk's 5 has got a worse hand.
I feel they've kind of had the meeting about making this. Tony's in on video conference somewhere, or voice conference, because he's busy making money doing not much these days. But so he's there going.
Tony Hawk's still making mad money. He's doing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but he doesn't have to do as much as he used to do. He's just reeling it in. He hasn't got to go anywhere if he don't want to. He's down the skate park. Anyway, so they're sitting there, they're going, Tony, look, we want to reboot the Tony Hawk's franchise. We know you're an avid gamer, we know you like games, so we want to go back to basics. I think he's going, yeah. Do you want to come in? We'll do a few facial scans, do a bit of motion capture, and just get a few promo shots of this. And he's like, nah, don't fancy it. Oh, I've seen technology today. You can, do you know those things? You can take a photo of someone, you can mould them around their head, and it can look really, really good. You could do that, and they've gone, yeah, I suppose it could. What's that technology EA had about 5 years ago? Let's use that to do it, and that's what they've done.
Except for the hands, they've accidentally used a dolphin's flipper.
Or when they said, when we make Tony Hawk's, we've got to make it like the original PS1 games. They've taken the wrong bits of that.
I don't think the hands were that bad in the original Tony Hawk's. I'm going to have to go back and check, but I think for the time, those were fully acceptable hands, and I think they'd be
They had
acceptable.
polygons in the hands back then.
Oh, God.
I might do an in-depth feature about hands in video games.
No, you won't.
Okay, fine. We'll just come to the conclusion that I'm right and it is the worst hand ever.
Sure.
Although, talking about this has reminded me, thankfully not about hands, about Tony Hawk's. Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam was quite good.
Yes, it was.
Is that the one on the DS?
It was on the DS and the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, the Wii
I reviewed both of them, and they're genuinely fun games. Not very Tony Hawkish, but better than 88% of other extreme sports games.
The other DS one was alright. One of the early ones. Not the Downhill Jam.
Tony Hawk's was good as well.
Jesus, yes, that was.
Which was? Sorry?
The GBA Tony Hawk's, the isometric one. That was...
Oh, yeah. It was like 720, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's what worked. It was basic. It was the original Tony Hawk's game on a 720
isometric
engine, and it worked. Days.
Because that is more difficult to do than just copying and pasting the game and making it widescreen.
Yeah. But talking of spiritual successors, there's technically a spiritual
which I suspect we will be quite a lot today, since everything that's happened since last week is spiritual successors.
Well, I kind of want to move on from Tony Hawk's and Kojima because it's depressing.
It's too depressing.
Sad times.
There's two major spiritual successors been announced this week. Andrew, would you care to reveal them to our audience of one?
I will, because I'm pretty sure so far no one's heard of this obscure Kickstarter that we're going to discuss now.
Oh, yeah.
These people that used to make video games but then started making, I can't remember what they're called on them, Microsoft Not Me's.
Avatars.
Have they not got a proper name?
No.
That's quite disappointing.
Avatars, weren't they? That was just called.
Yeah, that's wank. Yeah. Pull it together, Microsoft. That's wank. Anyway, they used to make games, and now they make avatars. So some people left, and they just started putting eyes on things, and now they're making...
They just got a big bag of googly eyes and started walking around Tesco's, putting them on things.
And they accidentally started making a game.
Andrew, they were quite common, weren't they?
Yeah, ish. No, they were quite rare. You're welcome. Yes, whatever they're called now, Platonic Games.
Platonic, which doesn't make is that a play on tectonic or play? I don't know.
Just whatever.
There was another company that was called something like that made. Was it Tonic Trouble?
What?
A really, really appalling 3D platformer from the.
God, yeah, I remember. Was that on the N64?
I think so, yeah.
To be fair, it's been so many...
on the PC as well.
Yep, it was on the...
Ukulele, it's made like 1.4 million quid. It's quite good, apparently. Yeah.
Oh, is that how it's pronounced? Ukulele?
You are kidding me.
God.
You are fucking kidding me. You better be kidding me. Because I am going to kick living snot at you when I see you next time.
No, I was saying it as two separate words.
It's ukulele. It's like banjo.
I've actually called it ukulele.
Oh,
you know banjos are an instrument?
Yeah, I know that.
You know kazoos are an instrument.
Yes, yeah.
You know that ukuleles are an instrument?
Rainier Wolfcastle.jpg.
I've got it now.
I think we can all pack up for the day now. I think we're done. I think we've done our task here.
It's been a long week. That's
Yeah,
no commentary. It's been a long week.
There's in a desperate fit to stop being negative. Well, the art style's quite nice. It's not amazing, but it's all right. And the 2 tracks that are on the Kickstarter page are very rare. But it's another 3D platformer from 1996.
Yeah.
And that's what I take away from it, which is fine. I mean, there needs to be more colour in the world. Grey shooters, brown shooters, because the games that get made ever. Narrow-sighted cunt. But it's one of those things where it's aimed at a very specific demographic, and that demographic has shat its money all over the Kickstarter, which is great, wonderful. Yeah. Get these games made, fantastic. But I think what my problem with it is I'd have probably backed it had I not been stung on Kickstarters for video games before.
Yeah.
Like the Carmageddon Kickstarter. I mean, it came out when Double Fine did their Kickstarter and it went great guns, and then it kept getting put back, and then it needed more and more money because Tim Schafer can't control his fucking bollocks. And it's like, Carmageddon said, oh yeah, it's funded in October, it'll be out in February. That was 2 years ago, and it's going into full release in like the next month or so. I mean, they've Playtonic have put a very realistic time frame on it. They've said October 2016. So you kind of go, that seems reasonable. I'm just not comfortable throwing my money down now and not seeing it for next year and a half.
Yes.
Not because of that.
To that stage of the Kickstarter now, where there's not that much to gain from giving them money.
No.
Which is always a kind of an unfortunate stage. Right? Elite got to that stage, and I was like, I could, but why pay £20 for a Steam game now when it's not going to be out for 2 years, and I don't even want it because I hate those games.
But also, it will come on to the other. When we talk about sort of backing games and what there is and stuff like that, we'll come on to the next one that was announced when we come to bullshit backing and stuff like that. But the problem I've got with Ukulele, there we go, I know what it's called now, is that...
Sorry.
It's been a pleasure being part of Gamestyle, gentlemen, but I will be moving on.
Right, so the problem with ukulele
is those sort of games have been done and gone by the wayside many times before.
Well, this is the flip side of it, isn't it? Because I agree. I'm not in any rush for another 3D platformer. After Mario Galaxy, everything seems very pedestrian, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's but in the same token, it's exactly what I've just said. I think sometimes these games do need to be made to remind people of either that there are games out there that aren't brown grey shooty mans, but also maybe to remind people that it's a good thing that things have moved on. It's like I say. I mean, Mario Galaxy. When did Mario Galaxy come out? 2007.
Yeah.
I think we've not had a 3D platform game. There aren't many about, but we haven't had anything that surpassed it, and I don't think we ever will, unless Nintendo decided to do a Super Mario Galaxy 3.
No, the reason being is everyone's realised actually these sort of games are best when they're done in 2D. We can make them look as beautiful as we want, and we actually get a lot more control over what happens in the game.
I can't believe we're at 2015. We are. I mean, when would you say that 3D gaming's like games with 3D engines started?
97.
Third person. Yeah, exactly. Right. So we're 20 years into the kind of genesis of the 3D, and there still isn't a company that consistently do a good third-person 3D camera.
No.
We still can't get it right. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, I'm not there to tell anybody what they should and shouldn't do because I'm not a fucking developer. But you're not telling me that they can't get a 3D camera right. I
programmed a 3D camera once, and that was one of my worst experiences in my life.
You're saying that, and it's clear they can't, and it's clearly something to do with it being a 3D world. Especially when it comes to platforms and things like that, they clearly can't, and we're at a point now where it's not poor developers, It's not them that are the issue. It's the world they're being asked to create that's the issue.
Yeah, maybe.
I've not wanted to mention this game because you mentioned it to me earlier, and I don't want to steal your thunder if you've got a big point to make with it. But we're looking at Tinker.
That was kind of where I was going with it.
Yeah.
But it's very much a I mean, it kind of runs contrary to the actual Kickstarter. So the Tinker, the last Tinker, the Colourful World or whatever it's called. Apparently, it reviewed somewhere between 6 and 8 on most places.
Pretty good game, yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's all right. Sold fuck all. Xbox One version got cancelled.
And that
Because
tells you where we are at this stage as gamers. No one wants it.
I would have said so, but the fact that it smashed that this ukulele game smashed its 1 million boundary on the first fucking day is ridiculous. It's obscene.
I just
Because of the name
can't
behind
imagine that anyone has played one of those games recently and thought, oh, I'd love another one of those.
I don't
They're
know.
just appalling games.
I don't know.
The thing is, the last Tinker is not an appalling game. It's a very, very good game. It's got a lot in common with a Banjo-Kazooie, and the puzzles are challenging without being overbearing. It's not too kiddified. It's not too adult. It's just got this nice balance to it. But as Steve said, it's sold naffle. No one was interested in it.
Nobody cared.
Now,
I didn't even know it was out. I didn't know it came out.
Right, I reviewed it. Come on. It wasn't on the Vita, so it only got like an 8. Was it 7 or 8? No, it was a 7 I gave it. It was a good game. It was, again, middle of the road, entertaining game, play it, move on. Now, had that had Playtonic behind it, or even Rare behind it, that would have sold a lot more. It would have been a success on the PlayStation, on the Xbox, on PC, on anything, because of the names behind it. The only reason this ukulele game is smashing these barriers that it's smashing, it's not because of the game. It's because you've got the people behind Banjo-Kazooie going, we're making another Banjo-Kazooie, but it's not quite Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah,
and by the way, we used to be Rare.
It's I don't know how they've managed to get away with such blatant.
We killed Steve.
Yeah, we did.
Oh no, he's back. He's back.
Sorry, I've just realised that my fucking network's acting up. Sorry, but
We got to blatant.
It looks like it's blatant reskin of Banjo-Kazooie. They're not even trying to do anything different, but that's the point. This is what I keep coming back to. It's like they're not pretending it's anything else. They're not pretending. They're entirely riffing on the retro nature of it. Again, that's fine. It's great. It's fine. If people want to throw the money down that's great. What I think people are going to find is what I found with Broken Age, I found with Carmageddon. Yeah, I went. Oh, it's another fucking point-and-click adventure from Tim Schafer. It's another Carmageddon. You know, I got another point-and-click adventure from Tim Schafer and another Carmageddon. I've moved on from that. I don't want those anymore. I didn't know I didn't want them, but I don't want them. I'm not bothered anymore. I don't care. So, I mean, it's like Broken Age. The thing that made Broken Age worth it for me was the documentary. I said this before. I've got to a point in the documentary I can't watch it because I haven't finished the first episode of Broken Age because of spoilers. So it's like
I have been playing it this week because I wanted to review it properly, and I have just got to the end of the first part, and I would say that was a lovely experience. Although the first puzzle I've got to in the second part is just wank. I'm just guessing between two holes which a pipe has got to go in for some reason. And it's like the worst puzzle kind ever. I must be missing something, but it just feels like everyone complained, oh, it was too easy, so it just made it really difficult now. And now it's
too obtuse. Yeah.
It seems a shame. But it's one of those games that I'm glad it exists based on how far I've got to it.
Yeah,
and that's sort of what the I don't fuck it. I don't want another Banjo-Kazooie game to exist. But,
I'm bitter. I didn't enjoy it in the first place.
I just
They were
don't
appalling.
care.
Just how slow were they to play on
It-
the N64? It was like 16 hours of walking in a straight line to jump on something that you then missed because the camera was wank, and then you had to walk around collecting horrible little yellow things that sometimes occasionally seem to disappear, and then you get other pieces of things, and fuck those games. Fuck them right in the ass. They're the worst things ever.
And if you want the best bits of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, there's a certain little game coming out on Steam in early access, or it's already out in early access, called Besiege. Get that for $4.99. It's better.
Nuts and Bolts was quite good fun as long as you ignored the platform bit.
Yeah, as I said, the best bit of Nuts and Bolts is out in another game.
I have been trying to steer this away from this because it sounds like we're a right bunch of old moany bastards. And we are, but we don't want to keep projecting that fucking image. So it's just, I mean, it's like the second one, which I didn't know about until Andrew linked it earlier on, is what's it for? Formula Fusion, which is a fucking awful name. I'm sorry if it is. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Which is basically Wipeout.
But they can't call it Wipeout.
No, we can't call it Wipeout. It didn't work for Quantum Redshift. But it's like, I similarly, I don't care. I don't know why I don't care, though. This is really bothering me now. Maybe it's because of the previous experience with Kickstarters. And it's like I looked at Ukulele, my first reaction was, it's a colourful platformer from the people who were rare, yay! And then actually thought about it and went, I don't give a fuck. And then you kind of...
It didn't take me that long, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but that's because you're...
they're doing another.
But then there's Formula Fusion, I'm like, well, I was never any good at Wipeout anyway. I've got Wipeout on the PS3, it was gorgeous, looked great, I was fucking shit at it, so I'm like, I don't care, I don't give a monkeys. So, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
The strange thing about Formula Fusion, and the fact that you've not heard of it is probably a good explanation, is that it's got 16 days to go compared to 41 days to go for Ukulele. Ukuleles have 43,040 backers.
Yeah.
And Formula Fusion hasn't got that many pounds yet.
That's
let alone backers.
That was the first thing that I noticed. The Formula Fusion Kickstarter has gone past its goal, but it's not convincingly broken its goal. So it's a bit of a weird one. It's not got 800 backers. And
what it shows is that maybe Sony weren't wrong when they shut down that franchise.
I don't think they were wrong, because I just think Wipeout's had its day. And I don't even know. Being unable to get decent sales figures, accurate sales figures for games is really frustrating. But I think it's indicative of it. You know, they tried 2 on the PSP, and they tried it on the PS3, and it's just
they're not games. They're good.
That you always want to enjoy more than you actually enjoy.
Yes. Yeah.
It's one of those that you'd really, if you could get if you knew that you'd be in the top 10 of one of the tracks, and you'd be, top 200 or 300 for the other ones, and you could really get involved and challenge. But most of the time, it's just spacking into a wall.
No, it is.
I don't think I'm on the poster. Wipeout most of the time is just smacking into a wall.
Oh. Yes, I did want to like Wipeout, but I lack of. I mean, I love racing games, but it's the lack of friction, because it's a futuristic floaty racer. It's the entire point of it is that it's a floaty racer, and I just can't. The lack of traction just really bothers me. I can't get my head around it.
Yeah, and then you start thinking you're being clever with the air brakes, and then you just spack into the other one.
You pinballing about that track like that.
It's just. There's like a massive audience looking on at this futuristic sport going, who the hell's that guy?
What's he doing?
What's that guy doing?
But, see, I really enjoy the Wipeout games, all of them. My favourite one was the PS3 one, not the Vita one, just to clarify that.
Was it Vita?
And I want it to succeed for one reason and one reason only. If it succeeds, this Formula Fusion, someone might see the light and give us an updated roll cage. And that's all I really want, because that is the best futuristic racer ever made.
We went through this last week. It's never ever happened.
We went through it last week, and I actually followed up on it. Turns out the PC version just pretty much works. If you buy the PC version and put it in a drive, it just kind of works.
Kind of works.
Yeah, you've got to do a little bit of fiddling for widescreen, and that's about it.
Also, you can get a hold of a version of it that's been properly updated and had the visuals improved and not quite had the Tony Hawk's HD treatment, so you can basically just play the original roll cage on PC rather well. But I just want to see a new version as well. But it'll never happen, I accept that. But I might just start a Kickstarter.
Just
some
Kickstarter?
nobodies that made it, weren't it? It was an absolute...
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Right. Yeah, it wasn't their studio. See, if I started a Kickstarter for Roll Cage and it passed, I might start the Kickstarter going, look, I just want to raise money so we can give it to the right development team and get them to make it. That's all I want to do. That's what Kickstarter should be for. Pie in the sky dreams.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird. Apparently it was somebody by Attention to Detail. Is that right? Yeah, attention to detail, but their Wikipedia page is being deleted. Anyway, so moving on. What's next, Andrew? Because I'm not paying attention. Sorry.
We have got the exciting news that Disney Infinity is also being remade, but with Star Wars in it.
To the surprise of precisely nobody.
Well, we broke this last week as well.
I broke this last year when the Marvel one came out. It's like, to the surprise of precisely absolutely nobody, Disney have got its cash cow and they're milking the living shit out of it. And by God, I am buying that Darth Vader figure. I don't care what anybody says.
Do you know who didn't break this news last week or even tonight? Charlie Brooker.
Relevant.
Yeah, nice Brooker.
Yeah, Brooker. But no, so Disney Infinity 3.0. I want to like Disney Infinity a lot more than I do. I'm noticing a common theme among the games we're talking about tonight, in that I want to like them, but I can't because they're rubbish. Because you kind of when it first got announced, Skylanders was big. Skylanders is excellent. Yes. In of itself, regardless of the shilling money grabbingness of having to buy 18 billion different characters, Skylanders as a game is really good fun. It is a Diablo for kids, bit of a dungeon crawler, and it's good fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Didn't buy into it after Giants because it just got expensive and stupid. Bought Disney Infinity thinking, and Disney Infinity got announced, and I'm like, it looks like Skylanders but with Disney stuff. It's a license to print money, and it's got Disney characters, and it's wonderful and ace. And it turned out that the game is actually fucking rubbish. The game is actually just really basic and controls really badly, and it's just not very good at all. So I didn't bother with Marvel. I've got a couple of the figures, but I didn't bother with the base set. And I won't bother with the base set for 3.0 either, because unless they do some massive, massive overhauling of the basic game, which they're not going to do because it required to build it from the ground up, it's just going to be Disney 3.0, which is exactly what it is.
We bought it for Lucas for Christmas, or his birthday, one of the two. And we've played the actual game twice.
Yeah.
Since we've had it, and between playing it for the first time and the second time, which was a day or two apart, because we bought quite a few more figures.
Yeah. Not
bothered with the game.
No.
And I actually think that, Warner know this. Is it Warner behind Disney Infinity?
No, they're behind Lego. It's Disney behind
Disney. Sorry. Disney.
It'd be Disney.
Yeah. Well, they know this. they know that no one cares about the game.
Ukulele.
You're terrible. But it's. I mean, there's going to be space battles in this one and the vehicles and stuff like that because the gameplay footage shows it. But I just don't care.
Sure.
I don't care.
Based on the pictures that have come out so far, I think I might end up buying some of the figures because they look like they might be quite nice.
I don't
think I'll buy the game. So.
No, I'm not buying the game. It's like the game's got really bizarre base characters as well, because with Marvel they went, right, if you want Iron Man, you buy it base game. You can't buy him anywhere else.
And Black Widow, wasn't it?
Iron Man,
and
Black Widow, Thor.
Yes.
But you could buy Thor separate, which is a bit
Yeah.
weird. Or you might not be able to. Anyway, but they've put like Anakin from the Clone Wars and that twirly-haired girl. I can't remember her name of the other Jedi. And it's like, I understand that you'll get more money if you sell the play, because apparently there's going to be a big play set with Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie in it. But it's like, why would you put two really, really boring characters in the base set? I don't understand. I don't get it. And it's only two characters,
I think
not
they've
three.
got quite a lot of followers, to be fair, because they're the main characters of the Clone Wars.
But Clone Wars has been dead for... One of the first things Disney did when they bought Lucas a film and bought the Star Wars IP is kill Clone Wars. It's one of the first things they fucking did.
It's still canon, though. So
It's not canon.
yeah, it is. It is. Darth Maul with his weird spider legs is canon.
I thought everything apart from the movies was considered not to be canon.
And because there was a Clone Wars movie that included that as well.
Really? Oh,
Mm.
God.
Clone
that
Wars
is
will
real.
come back.
But yeah, Ahsoka Tano, I think you're aiming for.
Right. But
and I'm
just on the tip of my
pretty
tongue.
I'm pretty sure that I could do a spoiler about something else regarding her. So
Right.
I'm not going to, because that'd be a dick move. But for people who know what I'm not saying, they'll be like, yeah, I know what that person's not saying. And everyone else will be like, I don't know why that person's still talking. So I'll stop. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the figures, basically. I think
Yeah.
Now go nice on the shelf next to the pop finals that we've got.
And they've announced the Hulkbuster and Ultron from the Marvel range, and there's a load of... They're doing the Inside Out. I think they're doing the range of the Inside Out figures from the film that's coming out at the end of the year. So, yeah. Disney Infinity 3.0.
the Galaxy and Star Wars must do something good together. That'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
See, but yeah, they are glorified. They're pop vinyls. That's all they really are now. It's just looking a bit different.
I said that. I've said that before.
And I'm happy for that.
I said that from start. I mean,
That's all I've done with Amiibos, really, is that they're quite cool looking. So I don't even own the console for that. On the bloody game.
To be fair,
it's still quite nice.
The only game I actually want as some kind of full-blown console game that uses this NFC technology, little character feeds, and is Pokemon. Because I just want to be able to buy lots and lots and lots of Pokemon.
Didn't Nintendo try that and they only supplied them to game and then they disappeared off the face of the earth?
I can't remember what they did with that, but no, Nintendo just make a fully-fledged Pokemon game.
There's not a full Pokemon Amiibo set at some point.
I've got Charizard and I've got Pikachu.
Well, there's that thing where Nintendo went, we fucked up with the Amiibos, we're going to release some more. Yeah, but you're going to release like 3 more fucking Amiibo, 3 of each other Amiibo that people
I don't
paid
think that was
140
real, was
quid
it?
for.
Did that turn out to be real?
I thought so.
What was that?
I thought that was just a bollocks.
Oh God, how fuck was?
I think that was probably a bollocks.
Was it? We're professional. We are. We know what we're talking about.
I've got a bit. Andrew was talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, which brings us nicely into probably what will be our final segment of the evening. Good old Games Galaxy.
That was almost smooth there. Almost smooth.
That was. I enjoyed that. I got my beta today, and I installed it, and it's Steam but for good old games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the alpha on Saturday, which makes it seem like I was really ahead, but then they released the beta like 2 days later. It was like, we'll see what Andrew thinks. Oh, it's alright. Well, we'll release it then. Yeah, it's just... It's kind of lovely, to be honest. It's it feels more finished than Steam does, which is ridiculous because Steam's been going for 18 million years. But it's still, Steam always feels a little bit like, should we just put a little extra bit in there? Yeah. But don't we have to redesign everything? I don't think so. I think we can just cram a little extra bit in there. I mean, what about those? I mean, we could have people collect trading cards. Why? I don't know.
Whoa. Trading cards allow me to afford some games. Shut up. Trading cards are great.
Yeah, I mean, the trading cards thing I'm thankful for because it's actually bought me full games in the Steam sale. So, but...
well, yeah, but, I mean, if we pretend that, you know, if we assume that no one's listening who actually buys the things, they're weird.
Oh, yeah. I'm grateful for people that are stupid enough to buy trading cards of nothing.
The initial investment I put into buying trading cards when they first came out and they were a novelty, I think was a few pence. But then you kind of earn them, and you're not actually spending money because all you're doing is cycling through fake money by buying and selling things. And then I realised that I should stop spending money on fake trading cards, like fake money on fake trading cards, and just fucking sell them to buy games. I mean, it's like one of the fucking, it's like this is such a small thing, but one of the Shantae and the Pirates Curse netted me like 48p. That's a fortune in trading cards world.
That's good.
I earned about a fiver out of all my trading cards.
It's brilliant.
It was really nice. A couple of cheap indie games. That was brilliant.
So yeah, it's.
Yeah, I think I've got 5 pages to get around to selling at some point.
Oh, you fucking.
You're sitting on a small fortune.
You'll make my teeth itch. And then there's that gem thing. The thing is, Valve are so intent on, like I've said before, Valve have made microtransactions palatable because they're everywhere in Steam now. But it's just like they seem to be completely away from doing anything constructive with what they've already got, like their IP. Like there's no Half-Life 3. There's never going to be a Half-Life 3. Sorry, there isn't, ever. No Left 4 Dead 3. Probably never going to be, because Turtle Rock have gone. And, you know, it's kind of so...
I think there will be a Left 4 Dead 3, because that suits the
I think they were looking at Evolve, and they saw how it tanked like a bastard thanks to 2K. Nice one, 2K. And I think they're looking at it. People don't want it. They want hats, and they want keys, and they want trading cards, and they want.
I think you could do quite a good Left 4 Dead with hats.
Left 4 Dead, this is fucking.
I think there's quite a variety of hats available in that universe.
Just to interrupt.
Yeah.
Charlie Brooker's Electric Special has just finished.
So
we're gone.
Oh, we're gonna get a surge now.
Welcome to everyone. Welcome.
So yeah, it's Steam just feels really flabby, and it needs looking at hard and redesigning for various reasons.
I don't think that it was. It's kind of like when you've not tidied up for a while, but you've got everything basically sort of in place. But, you know, there's just a few things kicking around, and then you don't tidy up for a bit longer, so you just a few more things kicking around, and then you go out, and then say just some gnomes come and just tidy up your room, and you walk in and go, "Oh, it was a fucking mess before that, wasn't it?" That's exactly what's happened by going on to Galaxy. You've gone, that Steam's fine, it's fine. It's a lot nicer.
Yeah.
The other one looks quite bad actually, doesn't it? Oh.
Yeah.
And my favourite thing about it, which is a completely geeky, non-exciting thing, is that it just installs the games in a folder that you've asked it to install it to, with the names of the games. You've not got to go into Steam apps, and then comments, and then what the fuck am I doing in this folder? What?
You know what I like? What I really like about Good Old Games Galaxy is that when you install a game, there's a little thing underneath it says, "You've not played this yet." Because I'd love to see that on Steam, because it's like 350 games and like 297 of them. God, you've not played this yet.
You played this once, but we don't think you actually got into the game.
You got to the
clicked
menu
to play it,
and went, I can't
you
be
got bored
fucked
on that installing.
I'll play it later. I'll play it later.
So yeah, it's
I think I've installed
through
it.
the installing DirectX screen of this game.
oh god, you installing Microsoft redistributable.
Why do I need to install DirectX 9 about 50 times over?
It's on an ad hoc basis or something stupid. I don't know.
It's to make sure that there's nothing being added that it needs, but it does end up installing 6 quadrillion versions of it. So you've got to go through.
I was going through my uninstall list, my program list on my control panel. I'm like, why have I got 18 billion of these in the middle? This is Microsoft, like fucking loads of them. Steam, thanks.
See, but I installed Good Old Games Galaxy and I opened it and I went, I've bought Rise of the Triad. Actually, I was gifted Rise of the Triad. Thank you to whoever gave me that. I've bought the original Fallout. I don't know where the rest of these games have come from. I know Steam adds games where you don't think it's adding games, but there's hundreds of them, so they can sneak them in.
There's a few free ones like
Warsaw.
Beneath the Steel Sky.
Yeah, I got that.
Treasure Adventure game, maybe?
Yeah.
It's called something like that.
I've got Ultima 4, don't remember. Dragon Sphere, Tyrion 2000, Teen Agent, Lure of the Temptress.
Yeah, Lure of the Temptress was another free one.
And it also adds the Galaxy
I think they're
Beta.
all free.
In my collection, it also adds the Galaxy Beta.
I've hidden that, but no, it means. I mean, I've got some right tripe in my good old games account, like Postal 2. That were a good idea to buy, and Blood 2, which never worked. Even though Good Old Games like say we're guaranteed to work, it never worked on my PC.
It took me like 4 or 5 hours to get into State 76 working. That was a good use of my time.
You should have just got your refund, because they say if it don't work, we'll give you a refund back. I'm like, right, okay.
It was quite cheap, to be fair.
But
That's
it's
not bad.
what?
Gods Will Be Watching is down to £2.19.
What's Gods Will Be Watching?
I don't know. Apparently, it's meant to be good.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ, Bradley!
Oh God!
It's
Why don't you just buy it, Brad? Because you never buy anything ever. It'll be a
It's
nice
a story-based adventure game, from what I remember. I remember
You
seeing
haven't got time to
all
play
of
it. You haven't got time to play it.
story-based
No, I'm not
adventure. Oh, we've not had any of those. Get it more. Get it more.
And it was produced by Devolver, so it's got that seal of approval on it because I like Devolver. I'm not buying it because I've got no now left, so I'm not getting it. But yeah, I think I've looked at it. The main reason I'm using this, I look at the stock. How much is that on there? How much is it on Steam?
Yeah, this is that's the other thing. Steam of the prices are no different, and also it's like I've got a lot because of the lack of an installer and a management system. I've bought a lot of the games that I've got on Good Old Games Galaxy on Steam when they're in the sales, because I prefer all my things to be in one place. I mean, I'm more receptive of Galaxy than I am of Uplay or Origin, because there isn't any other service that provides these games, a lot of these games rather. I mean, I know that X-Wing and stuff's just fallen on Steam in the last week or so, but you know, more often than not, you can't get things, you can only get it from GOG. But I'm put off buying them from GOG because I don't want to fuck about putting a shortcut in Steam. It's just another step, it's just another barrier. So now that Galaxy's come out, I'm like, yeah, I'll probably end up buying more games through GOG now.
See,
I avoided it entirely. I only had 2 games, I think. Maybe only 1 game before on GOG.
Yeah.
And then they released this, and I was like, right, I'll buy all the Star Wars games then. And I tell you what, X-Wing's quite good. I've been playing that, and I was bloody enjoying that. It was great. And I was getting shot by some people, and I was like, oh my god, my shields have dropped. I better move them to the fore, and then I'll just dump my lasers in, and then just hit Shift and F10, and I was like, oh my god, just hit Shift and F10. How on earth has my mind remembered that I need to hit Shift and F10? I was well impressed by myself. It made me feel almost like a normal human.
See, you mentioned Origin. I've heard from quite a few people that Origin's actually a decent system in terms of the client that it uses.
It's fine, and you can pretend you're in Mexico if you've got no morals at all.
Yeah, what do I get from Mexico?
Syphilis?
Titanfall, I hope.
No, I've got that on the Xbox. I've got something from Mexico. It was really cheap.
Mexico.
Are you a Mexican or a Mexican?
No, I'll tell you what I got.
I love Robert Rodriguez.
And I should probably play it. I got Battlefield Hardline for about a £5 all in from Mexico.
Yeah, it's still a £5 too much.
Oh, it's alright.
Yeah.
I'll play the campaign and mock it. That'll do me.
The campaign's awful as well.
I like a good awful campaign sometimes. I don't mind it. Cheesy.
That's the new system that'll take off soon. Good awful campaigns.
We'll kickstart it.
So what have we done?
Yeah, I think we're getting back towards news time now, so I'm expecting a few more things to appear. I think these are the, oh my god, let's get things onto Kickstarter before everyone gets distracted by actual announcements of real games.
We say this every week. I'm hoping that I thought we'd.
No, I think I think these are the kind of things that get announced before announcements get announced.
Well. Well, we've had what's it called? Project Cars is actually coming out.
I don't care.
Oh my god!
I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
What if someone told you?
It, but I bet it's rubbish.
What if someone told you that you could blend Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon with a drifting game? Would you be up for that?
Is that Drift Stage?
No, Power Drive 2000. It's a new Kickstarter.
No, I'm not backing any more Kickstarters. Fuck it.
You don't need to back it, but it looks pretty damn good.
It's good. As opposed to the fact he needs to back it.
No, you don't need to back it. I'll say you don't need to.
Oh dear.
But it looks pretty damn impressive from the little GIF I've just seen.
Oh, that's how we do our reviews now, based on GIFs.
Based on GIFs, yeah, sure, why not?
No, it looks bright and
related
pretty.
to the old Power Drive? There was a series called Power Drive.
Power Drift.
Yeah. For the record, Tonic Trouble was by Ubisoft. It wasn't based on that.
Oh, no, I don't like that. And here we go, for Power Drive, for $12 you get a copy of the game. Unlike Formula Fusion, where that is just the most confusing mix of backing, pledge, reward things I've ever seen.
If we can get a reader in touch with us to explain what happens when you back for £15 on Formula Fusion, that'd be great, because I ain't got a single clue.
Yeah, what's the one I can get in-car? I can get in-game items and special edition bits, but not actually get the game. Or I can pledge a little bit more and get the game, but none of the stuff.
Yeah. The £15 is there's two options for £15, of which one of them says it doesn't include the game, and the other one doesn't say it doesn't include the game. But I think we can probably assume it doesn't include the game because the one after that says it includes the game, but this one doesn't specify. So you can end up with two different skins for vehicles in a game you don't own.
Yes.
For £15.
Stupid.
Or you can pay a different £15 and you get your name in the credits and an art book and a wallpaper. But you still don't own the game.
Oh, apparently Power Drive was on the SNES.
Okay.
Sorry, I've just been told Power Drive was on the SNES.
Just been told? Live?
My mate texted me.
Oh, cool. Someone's watching us.
Yeah. Which is probably why we should, because we said, we're going to do this all in the requisite amount of time, and it's now we're 10 minutes over the requisite
That's
amount
because
of time.
we're just trying to understand Formula Fusion's backing system now. We'll be on for another 4 hours, I think.
Oh, my word. But yeah, no, that looks quite good.
£20 and still not get the game, actually.
I don't think that's going to be a reward tier type structure that's going to catch on. The only ones that should not give you the item you're pledging for is that just give us a £1. But they do. If it's the one where you just go give us a £1, fine. I don't expect anything from it. Anything above that, I expect something.
There's been 7 backers of the £15 one where you get a wallpaper. one backer of the one where you get 2 cars but not the game, but 14 backers of the one where you get all that and your name in the credits but still not get the game.
What is wrong with people?
I don't know.
I want to back this game, but not enough that I actually want this game. But I could get it for the same amount of money I've paid.
I like the idea of backing this game, but honestly, I'll never play it. So if you could just take my 20 quid for a wallpaper, that'd be bloody lovely. Oh, and you can give me some other stuff, but I won't see that.
I mean, I probably will get that, but I just, in principle, there's no way I can back that game. I will get it when it's out. But I cannot back it. This Power Drive, though.
I don't even know how to back it. Even if I wanted to, I'd be here until the next week.
There you go, Power Drive. Give us $1. That's good. That's nice of you. Or $12. Get the game. $18. Get the game and your name in the credits.
I might just back that out of spite for the other one.
Just put when you get to put your name in the credits. What you do is you put it is, it's better structure than Formula Fusion.
Early access to beta builds and name in backer credits.
$24. That's not bad, actually.
That's just like logical.
So Gamestyle's Kickstarter of the week that you should back is Power Drive 2000. It could be crap, but at least you get the game.
And on that
or
note,
if you just want skins, then the other one's for you.
Yeah, if you want some in-game skins for a game you don't own, Formula Fusion.
To be fair, they might never finish it, so it's as good for that as anything. Have we got anything coming up on the site this week?
Yeah, I'm doing a full preview for Dirt Rally because it's bloody awesome. Probably do a review for Project Cars. And we've got a few features to do. I've given Steve games to write about because I'm guessing he's settled in now, so he can start having some games to play. And yeah, we've got a few other reviews and features and stuff, and I'll try and get a couple more videos done this week.
Just refresh the site constantly every day, please. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, there was no Bradbourne this week because bank holiday and stuff, but he'll be back next week. Wait to see the wheelchair rugby. That was good.
I do like wheelchair rugby. It's a good game.
It's a great sport.
It's better than rugby.
Yeah. It's quite violent.
Most things are better than rugby, to be honest.
Yeah. And I spent a day in Coventry because Lucas had an ice hockey tournament in which they came second, lost in the final on penalty shootout, and he scored probably the goal of the tournament. So I was very happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my weekend. That's not coming up on the site. I don't know why.
Alright.
It'll be a self-indulgence.
Bonus content.
Do you know whose son wasn't in Coventry this weekend and didn't get one of the best goals of the tournament and a medal? Charlie Brooker's. Too bloody worried about his voting and yeah. Remember where you're from, Brooker.
Everybody vote tomorrow. Please vote.
Unless, of course, you're watching this after tomorrow.
If there's some way you can vote tomorrow, regardless of what day it is.
Yes. Apart from Big Brother or whatever these things are, because that's just a waste of money. Vote. We're not going to tell you who to vote for, but ideally not the ones who will chuck most of us out of the country. They've got serious. Probably about time to end this now.
Bye.
Goodbye.